The story?
If I have to,
But it wasn't just a meme,
create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do.
Republicans caught in a lie.
Ohio's Republican governor is calling for an end to debunk claims that Haitian immigrants in the town of Springfield are eating pets belonging to residents.
It's false, and they know it's false. But it didn't stop former President Donald Trump from amplifying it during his debate with Madam Vice President Kamala Harris.
2 elementary schools in Springfield, Ohio, evacuated today. 2 college campuses there, Clark State College and Wittenberg University, shut down. Classes being held virtually because of bomb and shooting threats. Some of the threats targeting the Haitian communities at the schools and in town.
A bomb threat, particularly one that disrupts something like a school, is a very serious crime. It's felony. So whoever's responsible, knock it off. You could go to prison on this.
Government buildings in Springfield have also received threats in recent days. The threats come in the wake of a disturbing sequence of falsehoods about the Haitian community in Springfield.
Vance and Trump's lies put a target on the backs of Haitians in the community, who, by the way...
It started slowly. We had an application pool that was a little bit different.
People coming to work here.
People looking for jobs. What he's welding here again are welded axle components.
Jamie McGregor is the CEO of McGregor Metal, which makes welded parts for the auto and farm industries. Right now, about 10% of his workforce is Haitian, over 30 employees.
I wish I had 30 more. Our Haitian associates come to work every day. They don't have a drug problem. They'll stay at their machine. They'll achieve their numbers. They are here to work. And so in general, that's a stark difference from what we're used to in our community.
They are giving more to society and even hyper-locally in their community of Springfield, Ohio, clearly than the residents did previously.
Still, J.D. Vance, in an interview with CNN's Dana Bash, doubled down on the false claim, but provided no evidence for it. Pressed by Bash on whether he created the whole story, Vance said this.
I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media focusing on it.
Neither Vance nor Trump have moved away from the false claim of pets being eaten in Springfield, even when Trump was asked over the weekend if he would denounce the recent threats.
I don't know what happened with the bomb threats. I know that it's been taken over by illegal migrants, and that's a terrible thing that happened.
Trump has threatened to conduct large deportations from Springfield if he's elected.
So it's clear they're not backing away from the false claims because they view it as a winning strategy. Trump is even repeating the neo-Nazi conspiracy theory of great replacement in his rhetoric. Then he says he will deport fine, upstanding people to the community because they're immigrants. That is a purely racist policy, and it needs to be called out as such.
Tonight, Springfield's Haitian community in fear.
And I know some parents, for this period of time, they're trying to keep their children home. By the time they see how things gonna be, wait for a couple of weeks to see if things gonna calm down or if things gonna escalate.
These people are here legally. They're here legally. And they want to work, and they are, in fact, working. I think these discussions about Haitians eating dogs and cats and other things needs to stop.
Via americasvoice.org, the Trump-Vance ticket is using a modern version of the old anti-Semitic blood libel, pushing racist and bigoted lies that have a long history of resulting in downstream political violence. The target of the lies may have changed, but the consequences remain the same. Thus far, only one sports team has spoken out about this diabolical rhetoric from some of the most powerful people in the country, the Miami Heat. They wrote the Miami Heat staff, like Miami itself, is a diverse and brilliant mix of vibrant cultures, including many members of our Haitian community. The false narrative surrounding them is hurtful and offensive and sadly made innocent people targets of hateful speech and physical threats. Our Haitian employees, fans, and friends deserve better. Agreed. And let me just also say, strong. Longtime sports media member Mike Freeman would write, which I 1,000% agree with. Amazing they did this, but tragic they even have to. Yeah, it is tragic. Let's give you the story from Rolling Stone. Florida boasts America's largest Haitian population according to the 2022 census. Fill out the census, please. This is why it's so important. Please do the census. Don't put it off. In 2010, Miami Heat members Alonzo Mourning and head coach Eric Spoelstra visited Haiti to aid citizens after the catastrophic earthquake. And now the organization has decided to air its thoughts on Trump's comments that went viral after the recent presidential debate. The writer would continue for Rolling Stone. The root of the racist theory stems from a Facebook post made by a Springfield woman named Erica Lee, who shared a story she allegedly was told by her neighbor, Kimberly Newton, about an acquaintance whose cat went missing. But Newton told NBC that her account was misstated by Lee, who says the post exploded into something I did not mean to happen. And who has been spreading this like wildfire? Not just Republicans, not just conspiracy theorists, neo-Nazis. That is who it has reached. That is the damage they have done. We have also seen, and I'm blanking on the guy's name, I remember Haas played it on his stream, of a guy who is cosplaying as a reporter and a journalist who is simply asking preposterous questions without doing a lick of research or looking into a claim a resident is making, taking it at face value, and then putting it out to his followers on YouTube. Blanking on the guy's name, he is an absolute see you next Tuesday when it comes to content creators. One of the worst, most loathsome presenters I have ever seen. Not a journalist, posing as one. It's also diabolical what he's doing because he's amplifying this. And it shouldn't be amplified. It should be dispelled. Tom D'Angelo of the Palm Beach Post basically says, maybe we should have seen this coming all along from the Miami Heat. What he would reference is the Heat's social activism. And he says it's headed by Pat Riley and the NBA being socially aware. I'll get into that in a second. The league touts its National Basketball Social Justice Coalition, which is an organization of players, coaches, team governors, and executives leading the NBA family's advocacy work to advance social justice. That is, of course, unless you're the Detroit Pistons owner, Tom Gores, who benefits greatly from the prison industrial complex and, in addition, overcharges prisoners, calling their families. Sometimes those phone calls being upwards of $15, $20, $25. Gores profits from it. Unless it's corporate sponsors who also benefit from the prison industrial complex and the slave labor, and those practices that they have to keep their margins down. But that's just my 2 cents, of course. The Miami Heat have also spoken up about Trayvon Martin when he was killed by George Zimmerman, when they posed in hoodies. Stephen A. Smith hated it. They also spoke up about Colin Kaepernick, and of course, as many other teams did, with the 2020 protests and the Black Lives Matter movement. I think what needs to be brought up time and time again is that we are living in a reactionary world, and it troubles me. What do I mean by this? A Republican will say something, and it will reach every corner, sometimes not even of the country, but of the earth. And whether it is, Finnish people making fun of it or murals being put up in Hong Kong, this sort of dialogue that Republicans have where it is purely fear-mongering, racist attacks, being super transphobic, litter boxes. Tony Dungy, of all people, I know that he's a nut, but Tony Dungy repeated this on Twitter. Elon Musk amplifying this. It is despicable, the times that we are living in, where we have an entire media empire that sees something ridiculous that someone is saying, and then it just gets continually spit out over and over and over and over and over again. When this is why I call nonsense when Republicans say that we live in an era where we don't have media, we don't have this, we don't have that, we're under attack. All that we are doing outside of that bubble is reacting to what the bubble is saying. They say stuff like Haitians are eating cats and dogs on a presidential debate stage. This is how stupid of a time we're living in, on a presidential debate stage. And instead of the American public saying, well, that's crazy, and instead of listening to the citizens and the journalists who are doing the checking and saying that this is not a thing, the lie is just continued. Which also goes to show how important owning it is, instead of trying to play the long game for cheap political points like Vance and Trump are doing. Because they view this as a winning strategy. And until the American public says, no, it's not, I actually think you're hurting my fellow man. You're hurting my community. You're hurting the workers. You're hurting the people that I call coworkers, that I call friends, that I'm in groups with, that I'm in book club with, that I watch sports with, that I watch movies with. Yeah, you're actually attacking my friends. Until that happens, you will continue seeing stories like this and many others that will come have legs. And it's a shame. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.